What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Rashid. I have two very, very special guests. Two people, bodybuilders that I happen to really respect and admire and look up to. And also two guys that I am proud to call friends and mentors. We have Jay Cutler, former four-time Mr Olympia, and Dexter Jackson, Mr Olympia 08, hopefully 19, right?
19 for sure.
Okay, that's what's up. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
It's good. It's awesome to be here. We talked about that this weekend, actually.
Yeah, we did.
We were saying how
I'm
the one that told Mike. I said Dexter smashed him at the
right, and we also talked about the fact that it'll be dope if you win and retire. But Jay said he's not retiring.
Why would he do that?
Yeah.
Right.
I sure as hell would come if I was younger, Dexter. I'd be back on stage with you, man.
It sounds good. It would be nice to go out on top, but I don't know if I can.
You know what? The first show I went to, Olympia, I think was when you came back. What year was that? 13?
09.
09?
Oh, 13, I came back to finish my last one. Yeah,
I think that was my
sixth.
first time going to the Olympia, like being there in person. That was pretty cool.
What'd you get? Fourth that year or third?
Third.
Right? Yeah.
So, Jay, why are you in town? What's going on?
A little birthday getaway.
Okay.
So I came back to Southern Cal. I was in LA for a day and came down to the best place in the world, Orange County.
I agree. I love Southern California. I mean, Dex, you live two places.
Well, I'm a Florida boy. I love Florida. I hate LA, to be honest.
You need to be down this way, though.
No.
If you're down here, Orange County is different.
Too expensive for one, too much traffic.
Whoa. You live in what? Where do you live at? In Venice? Santa Monica. That's got to be more expensive, or just as. Huh? We getting Uncle T. Just tell me, okay.
Oh, is that better?
I think both of y'all. All right, this is live TV, so we keep it real. Yeah, both of y'all. Yeah.
Okay.
Close to the mic. That better, Unc? I got my uncle on my ass. So.
It was my uncle too.
That's Dexter uncle. That's what's up. But nah, Dex, you gotta come down this way, man. There's no stress. There's no traffic.
It's too far from
a lot of good people. Why you don't want to be there?
Yeah, I do. That's the only
there.
reason I come here. I want to train with Charles.
Charles don't even want to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Jay can put up our money and make a gym over here.
Nah.
Come on. Dex.
I'm a Florida boy, man. I'm good at home.
All right. Jacksonville. All right, so Jay, is Dex going to win this year?
Listen, man, if the stars align and heading into the show, listen, there's no real front runner. You know, what bothers me the most about bodybuilding and, you know, stepping away now and being 6 years this year since I actually competed last. And listen, I haven't won the Olympia in 9 years.
Damn. Time
So,
flies.
yeah, it's right. It's crazy. So, you know, they talk about front runners, but they seem to forget the people looming that have been there and done it. And, you know, with Dexter really defying all odds, no one really stepped beyond what their potential was. Like Ali Haney, he retired at 31. Who knows how good he could have been?
Right.
You know, Schwarzenegger retired early. I mean, it used to be a young man's game, but, you know, Dexter's shown through smart training, you know, he was able to outlast all of us and, you know, including myself. So, you know, where you have someone that's been there, done it. I was just talking to him prior to when we went live here, and it's like, you know, he's got all the. They talk about the secrets, but he has the experience, so he knows exactly what to do with his body, and he lets these guys make the mistakes that are taken over and over and over, and he knows how to hide his weaknesses because everyone has weaknesses and show his strong points, and it's all about the presentation. But he's very relaxed going into these preps. It's stress free for him because he's been there, done it a million times, and I'm sure he had no doubt. So I mean, leading into this Olympia, I'm sure he's more confident than ever, especially, you know, testing the waters at Tampa Pro, although he didn't have some of the top competitors there. Listen, you can talk about Rolly from last year, third place. You can talk about Brandon Curry as a front runner because he won the Arnold Classic. But, man, Arnold Classic used to, you know, that thing's been watered down quite a bit. Like, you win Ohio, that's the real Arnold, right? You go overseas, you win some. I mean, the competition's not as tough. But
right.
It necessarily doesn't solidify you as the number two bodybuilders in the world if you win the Arnold and you haven't won the Olympia anymore, because there's just too many shows. There's too many guys that sit and are waiting. And listen, Dexter's qualified for life. He didn't need to compete in Tampa, but he wanted to be around his family. He wanted to just go on stage and really test, okay, how much can I push myself? And he came back better than he was last year.
Right.
And already he's won. So, listen, there's no one... You and I both spoke about it last week. It would be the best story that bodybuilding could have, especially 100%. In these times 100%. Right now, to have him come and win. Listen, don't talk about the age. Talk about the consistency of the bodybuilder.
This is what people got to understand, how impressive that is. Great athletes can compete at the highest level for a long time. It's a lot to that. It's a lot to that. Is there a thing that you do, Dex? What's the reason that you've been maintaining for so long?
Well, there's a few things that I consider that has helped me, last so long. One is I don't have to work as hard as everybody, so genetics, of course. The most I do is 20 minutes of cardio a day. And then when I hit 5 weeks out, I'm stopping cardio. But I'm not really doing the cardio to burn fat. I'm just doing the cardio when I first wake up, just to get the food, keep the food moving, and make me hungry. Right. Because when I wake up in the morning, it's like I'm not really hungry. So by the time I get off that bike, then I'm ready to eat. So it's basically just tuning me up so I can get ready to eat my first meal or whatever. Right. And then you have. My career's been in stages. Okay, when I first started bodybuilding, I didn't have a trainer, so I did everything on my own. Got to where I need to be, and then of course, you have to take the next step. So I remember I was with Flex Wheeler one day, and I was like, "Man, what can I do to reach the next level to be up there with you guys?" He's like, "Well, you need to go and get Joe McNeil." Joe McNeil was my very first nutritionist. Right. So I got with Joe, won Arnold a couple times, and I was like, the Olympia here, Olympia was never nothing I wanted to win. It was always Arnold, because Arnold was more of a classic physique look. It was more of his aesthetics. When Mr Olympia was all about big guys, so I was like, I could never win Olympia because it's always a big man show. Yeah. So I was able to, win a few Arnolds, and Jay and I, that year that I beat him, I think Jay was trying to really come in and really condition. I said, well, if Jay try and do that and come in smarter than he normally is, then I got a shot. So I think that's what he did. Is that what you did, Jay? Did you try to come in to match me with conditioning?
I don't know if I was trying to match. I just think that, Ronnie was gone. Okay. So I think that there was looking back now. And listen, you'll see this after being retired. Whenever that happens, you'll be able to see things more open eyes. I just think it was just like, hey, man, I was winning. I didn't think anyone could beat me. I did the same thing I always did, but of course I was trying to come in the best shape possible. But I think I kind of let the foot off the gas a little bit, and I said the same thing. Dexter's too small to beat me. Yeah. And then, unfortunately, I lost the title, although I was extremely happy for you. I've always been supportive of you because I know what it's like to win, right? So, I congratulated him, and he fell down on the stage, and you can watch the video over and over.
Yeah, we've all seen it. Yeah.
But, if you ever noticed, when I won and lost, it was always the same reaction. So, it just, and then I came back the next year, and then I won the title back. But, let him kind of finish, his... Because I know I've studied Dexter's career, and I watch his training, and he came after Joe, he came to Venice and started training with Charles. Right. And he trains smart. He doesn't do, I used to deadlift and I would T-bar row off the floor, and I would do, not to say he doesn't do that, but he picks and chooses the days he does it. Right.
Yeah, so before Jay continues with that, let me go ahead and finish where I left off at, because I'm getting to what he's saying. So after the Olympia and Jay beat me, but Jay came back and won and all that stuff. 2010, I started dipping a little bit, and I'm like, okay, last year my glutes was like shredded. This year, what happened? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, and then right after Flex Pro, when Centopani beat me.
God, I forgot about these shows, man. Like there was a Flex Pro show in California.
It was
right?
California.
Wow.
Centopani beat me there, and Joe McNeil was like, "I'm done." He retired on my ass right then.
Wow.
And I'm like,
so
what the
basically,
hell?
you lost to somebody you shouldn't have lost to.
Right. So I was like, you know what? I was just remember crying on Gail's shoulder, like, baby. If I'm losing to these kind of dudes, it's time to go.
Right.
Not to take nothing away from Evan, but I
But it's
mean,
levels.
I mean, if me at my best, he can never beat me. So right then, I was like, you know what? I think it's time to retire, baby. And
What year was this?
This was 2010.
Okay.
And then
Yo, big shout out to Skillshare for partnering with me on this video. For those of you who don't know who Skillshare is, they're an online community for creators, for content creators like myself and like some of y'all out there who's trying to get into this space, all right? They got more than 25,000 classes in different categories like freelance, entrepreneurship, film and video, web development, graphic design, you name it. It's a great one, really worth checking out in freelance and entrepreneurship. I really like it. It's by Simon Sinek, that's my guy. It's called Presentation Essentials, how to share ideas that inspire action. That's what it's all about. Y'all see what I do on my channel. Y'all see what I'm about. It's not about just talking about these things. It's about actually putting things into action and also mobilizing you guys, mobilizing people watching you to do something to get into action, all right? So listen, I know y'all like that kind of content because that's what I do, that's what I produce. So y'all would like this program, all right? It's really a great place for you to learn and develop new skills, you know, right online. So they're hooking it up. Skillshare is dope for this. They're hooking it up with a free 2-month unlimited trial to my subscribers, to y'all, to my squad. But you gotta click the link right down there below. After that, it's just about $10 a month. There's nothing. Knowledge is power, is very valuable, especially when you obtain it, apply wisdom and understanding, and use it. Get some out of it, all right? So click the link down below. Peace out to all y'all out there for showing love, and much love to Skillshare.
George Farrah came around. George is at that show. And after the show, he came up to me, he was like, man, you want to let me give you a try.
Right.
I'm like, dude, you don't know nothing about training nobody, because he was always like Honey. I was running behind Ronnie and stuff, so I didn't think they knew what they was doing.
Yeah.
So I gave him a try, and I remember him sending my first meal plan, and there was so much fucking food on there. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm eating all this food. Forget about it. Because back then, I was the type of person who was, drinking a lot of shakes, eating less meals.
You used to eat McDonald's every day in the off season. Like we'd finish shows and Dexter would be eating McDonald's like every
Bag
meal,
full of
Yep.
man. Talk about like go back to the genetics. Like he just ate whatever he wanted.
Your body
whatever
just
I
did
wanted.
well with the junk food.
Yeah, I ate whatever I wanted. I would be in the freaking, in the freaking airport and don't carry no diet food with me. Just eat whatever I see. You know what I'm saying? And but to get back to what I was saying, and then Charles Glass was there. Charles was like, man, you should come out to LA and train with me a little bit. You know, I was like, okay. So I got those two people come the same night to convince me to work with them. I say, you know what, baby, why not? Let's give it a try.
Right.
So I started going to LA every 2 weeks, go out there for 2 weeks, come back to Jacksonville for 2 weeks, go back there for 2 weeks, come back to Jacksonville for 2 weeks. That was starting to be too much. Now I love training with Charles, but Gail was like, you know what? Why don't you just get a place in LA? That way you can leave all your stuff out there and you got to worry about lagging it back home every week or whatever.
Let me pause real quick. How amazing is that to have a woman that supportive? Because no other woman would be like, just get a place out there.
It's freaking amazing.
Yeah. Shout out to Gail.
There will never be another. I mean, not going to say there'll never be another, but she is so supportive of everything I do. If you guys are ever going to get in something, make sure your partner is supporting you 100%, and you support her 100%.
100%.
Because her saying that, me coming out here for months at a time, that would be hard as hell without FaceTime. Don't get it twisted. FaceTime saves lives.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, we talk all the fucking time.
Right.
And she knows exactly what's going on. She call me anytime and have no problems.
Yeah.
But so I got a place out in LA and start, that way I have to go back and forth. I started staying out there training with Charles, months at a time then. And we started training with machine work. So this is another thing that has made my, prolong my career, is I got away from all those heavy, deadlifts
weights.
and free weights.
So what year? This is 2010?
2010.
You transitioned from free weights and heavy, dense training to more machine.
I mean, we might do some dumbbell flies and stuff like that, but
for the most part, the primary stuff was machines.
Right.
Okay,
primary
so y'all take notes. Y'all take notes. A lot of people feel like, and I was one of those people too, like, fuck machines.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck machines until I got injured.
Right.
And then I love machines, but I do both. But go ahead.
But and I used to get it all the time. You're not gonna grow doing machine work. Well, I'm a prime example. I've been up to 270 doing straight machines.
Right.
So don't listen to that nonsense when people say that. You know what I'm saying? So that has saved my joints a lot. My joints don't hurt no more. Knees don't hurt no more. None of that stuff, because I've been able to not reverse, but I've been able to save them.
Right.
And we've figured out different things.
You do got some kind of reverse Benjamin Buttons thing going on, though.
Yeah,
So
but you know what?
That's there.
But you know what though? I have to keep faking his ass out, because every time I look, he's on me.
Right.
And then I got to come up with another plan, like this year. Last year, the last couple of years, my legs have been going down. You see my legs in the last show this past Tampa.
I think everybody's waiting to see pictures to see your legs.
Right.
Yeah.
So they back swole again. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing some different things now. And it all plays a big part. Whether it's the knees was hurting and I can't do as heavy as I normally can, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to know how to put your foot on the gas, come off a little bit, then put your foot on the gas again into the show. You got to know how to do all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I got to keep figuring out different ways to, hold Father Times off, because he jumps on my back sometimes, and we have to figure out a way to get him back off. And I've done that. That's why I feel I have a really big shot at winning the Olympia this year.
I'm a big fan of yours. Like, besides it being cool, I think that you have I'm a fan of things that stand out, like bodybuilders that stand out. Just like Jay, like, you stand out. You're so wide and massive and tight, and it's like the perfect symmetry. And like Jay said, you're so calm when you go out there. I love that shit. You know what I mean? So I do feel like that your calmness kind of intimidates other guys. Like, why is he so calm?
Yeah.
You don't seem stressed at all.
I've done this shit so many years. It's like, this is like a walk in the park to me.
Right. But I'm a fan of you for that, And so I guess we got the guys who are in contention. Would be, of course, you, the guy you beat. What's his name? The guy you just beat in Tampa. They've been saying, I heard a lot of good things about him.
Luke Sandow. But
Luke, that's it, yeah.
But, there's guys that aren't there at Tampa. So, you got Brandon, who was
for sure
was fifth last year. And you have Bonac, who was fourth.
You got Rowley.
I'm a fan of Bonac too. I like Bonac.
Those are your contention guys, but that doesn't mean that a guy can't come from eighth and move up. I moved up from eighth to second. I leapfrogged a lot of people. Ronnie moved from ninth to first.
See, another thing a lot of people don't know is I played seventh last year, but keep in mind there was a lot of shit going on that I don't. I never care to let out. Right. I always keep shit to myself. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff that's going on. You had a lot of speculation going on, like Dexter and Charles ain't training together no more. Yeah. And I was training with Psycho. But things between me and Psycho wasn't going that well. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up leaving Psycho, going to another gym, and I was training at this gym. Driving an hour a day, getting to the gym to train, and I left goals. And so there's a lot of stress in last year. And not to mention, my trainer, George Farrer, had cancer. Right. So he had colon cancer. So he was at a stage 4. He was pretty much out of his mind. He wasn't at the Olympia. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I always said, if I fall out of the top 6, then I'm gonna retire. But I said, you know what? Let's give it one more chance. I got Charles back, got George back. He's cancer free. That's awesome. He came to Tampa with me. You see what he made me look like in Tampa. You know what I'm saying? So we got the team back. And
you got a lot of real good, strong, positive momentum going into this year's Olympia, and it feels right for you. To me, I don't know, it just feels right. Maybe it's some bias, but it feels right.
It feels right to me.
A lot of those things that you're saying, those are real factors.
Yeah.
Those are real factors in your confidence.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Jay,
it
you
feels
know how
right.
important it is for your trainer, your nutritionist, actually to be at the show to keep eyes on you,
Right.
and know what to exactly do for you.
Right.
It's a huge difference, bro.
Right, for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? And then training the whole year. Just imagine training with somebody that you don't get along with versus somebody that you respect. And when you're going to the gym, you want to bust your ass every day
wanna
because you
impress
respect
them.
this man.
Right.
You know, when I train with Charles, it's I don't want to let him down. That's how I train when I train.
You know, that's how I am with CT.
Exactly.
I don't want to. First, I don't want to call me a bitch, and I want to fulfill everything he said do. So I'm gonna do it and
Right.
try to do a little extra. You know. So yeah, I get it. Let's shift gears a little bit. So this is 2019. Both of you guys have been around for a long time in bodybuilding, and I know a lot of things have shifted. Like back in the day, you guys used to get monstrous contracts. I know you have probably the biggest one ever, right? But that day is gone. People aren't getting huge contracts anymore from sponsors or supplement companies, this and the third. What do you guys feel about, you know, people staying relevant and staying, like, trying to achieve financial freedom and independence outside of getting a paycheck from a company?
Well, I think, you know, you have to step outside the box a little bit, where we used to be able to focus strictly on training. And I was never someone that I think I limited what I could do as a bodybuilder because I stayed so active. I was traveling to a lot of guest appearances, and, you know, we both did DVDs or whatever, which I considered early social media, which I couldn't stand, actually, even that time I spent being on camera. It was like a nuisance to me. In these days, social media, you know, you have to bring the phones and show a little bit what happens in your life, and you have to let people inside. And I always said that's how I developed a lot of my fan base. So there's a lot of people without accolades that can become big fitness stars because they have a message or they speak. Listen, how is it, you know, 20 years ago when you saw your idol in the magazine? I ran into this, and I remember thinking, oh man, this guy's awesome. And then you meet him and you're disappointed, right?
Yeah.
Because the attitude or how he treats you, right? And I said, if I ever become a big star, I'm going to treat people like I want to be treated, right? Didn't matter how much stardom I got. And I feel I achieved like the pinnacle, right? Winning the Olympia and becoming like very popular. So I'm always respectful to everyone, even if I necessarily don't like them. I'm still respectful. But for me, I was an introvert. I wasn't a social person. I'm still not a social person, which surprises a lot of people. I'd rather keep to myself. But I have a hard time sitting there filming, especially me being 45 now, right? 46. I just
Happy
turned 46.
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jay.
So it's like, man, I don't want to shoot myself cooking my chicken breast or,
Right.
you know, and sometimes getting in front and talking about things that are negative. I try to keep everything positive, but we all have a message to send, and there's always a person that looks up to every single one of us. And listen, we're just on a higher platform, right? YouTube's done a lot for us. Instagram, you know, Snapchat. I do all channels, and I just try to put my message out there. And my message is, be you. Be yourself. And I think that's really what now I'm disappointed that these guys can't get paid the kind of money. I mean, listen, the Mr. Olympia prize is great. First place, it's double when I won my peak.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think when you took over from me, what'd you win the year?
Oh, it was only 175 that year.
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember it went to, I won 200. Oh, maybe. So I won in 9 and 10, which might have went up to 200. But how disappointed was I when I left? It doubled, and Phil Heath was winning 400 grand. I'm like, damn, you know. So I feel like the UFC guys must look at that, and these guys are making millions for a fight where a Tito Ortiz and, you know, Chuck Liddell and these guys weren't making that kind of money, right? The pioneers, Ken Shamrock. Things, you know, they progress, but it seems like bodybuilding, that's regressed. I mean, how is it that the Arnold Classic still pays pretty much the same money as when I won it back in 2004? I was winning.
Well,
how's this? I was winning 100 grand, an H2 Hummer, okay, which he won it after me, an H3 Hummer, and a watch that was worth at least $20K.
Yep.
And the money now is, I think it's $130 to win the Arnold Classic.
Same.
It's less.
Is it greedy promoters?
I think it's just revenue because, listen, I promote. So I know what it takes to put on events. I think it's just the
money's not there.
attendance. And
I think they feel that this is enough and we ain't going no higher than that. That's what I think.
Well, my opinion, I think the money's there. I mean,
Of course it's there.
But I do feel like if nobody's complaining, why change?
And I was one of those guys when I did the Arnold 2 years ago. I was like, listen, if y'all want me to do the show, you need to get a truck back in there. You need to get this back in there. You need to get the prize money up to $200, $250. That's if you want to get me to come back.
Right.
But once everybody at the last minute started getting some more bigger names, they was working on doing it.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, Dex. I feel like bodybuilding in particular, I notice, I'm friends with a lot of people, and a lot of people feel like they have to play nice and play politics when they don't realize it's like the days of the gatekeeper being the ones to put you on are done. We have social media. People can debate whether it's good or bad. I don't think it's either. It's just a utility. However you use it can be good or bad. What's good about it is if you are all of that and the fans want you, they want you, and everybody sees that. You can't hide that. You can't fabricate it. You can't fake it. These big companies need you, myself, whomever. I don't care if you only got 5,000 people. That's 5,000 potential customers. They need that. They pay big money for that. So if they didn't need it, they would never offer anybody anything. But here it is now. I feel like a lot of shows, especially something like the Arnold Classic, which to me is my favorite show to go to. I just like the nostalgia of Ohio and Arnold, and it just fit, and it's a bigger expo. But the prestige ain't there because they don't get paid as much. But I feel like nobody's making a fuss about it because they want to play nice to get looked at properly and get played, because it's so subjective, right? The placing. It's not like somebody scored 10 points to 9 and won. So I feel like there's a level of people playing nice to make sure they don't piss anybody off. What do you guys think?
Well, I think, listen, the IFBB is separated from the Arnold, right? So the Arnolds are promoters, so they can determine the money. The IFBB is not going to step in and say, hey, you guys have to pay more money because it's not their place, right?
Right.
So, I don't think, like, politics, they used to talk about politics all the time and whatever. And, listen, man, if politics were as deep as they were, there's no question people loved me being Mr. Olympia, and I lost to Dexter, I just came off 2 years in a row that I should have been better, and I lost. And granted, I came back in 2009. I felt that was better than I had been in years, and I won it back. I mean, where he might have questioned, hey, I'm still better than Jay. I mean, listen, we all are confident to the point where I thought I should have beat Ronnie Coleman all those years, and Dexter would tell you no chance, right? But, like, I'm not going to go into a show thinking, oh, well, I can't win, or this. Why am I going to waste my time? And to go back on the contracts and stuff, listen, man, I took over, so now I don't have to worry about financial concern. I pay myself, right? And I'm kind of write my own destiny now, and I don't have to rely on the companies. I think he's in the same kind of boat where, he's basically funding a lot of this stuff himself now. He doesn't have, the contracts like they were. So it's kind of like almost a blessing because no one's on your shoulder like, hey, do this, hey,
Post
do
this,
that.
fly here.
Oh, I can't take a picture with your stuff. Like, Mike, you could hand me ambrosia today, and I can say, oh, this is great.
Right.
And I don't have to worry about ring, ring, ring.
Right.
Oh, why are you holding that product on social media, right?
Yep.
We were just, not to cut you off, but we were just Sean and I was having a conversation about this yesterday, how I think it's so cool when I see Bounty Tank posting with my product, your product, and he posted somebody else yesterday. I said, that's how it should be, because reality is, like, it's not a
For
companies
Mack
are
Truck,
not games.
Mack Truck.
Yeah, Mack Truck.
Yeah.
This person has a product that I don't have, and I like it, so I want to use it.
Right.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? It's normal, and the consumers trust that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, why lie and have, I only carry this in my cabinet.
Right.
Dude, you go to my cabinet and I have every product brand in there because they send it to my house.
Yeah, but if you're on the contract, then you have to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to get back to the contract situation, I've had tons of companies approach me wanting to sign me for pennies, you know, $200-300.
I'm sure there's been some good contract
$200-300, $400,000. I feel my worth is.
Hold on, y'all hear that? He just called $400,000 pennies.
Well, compared to what all the work that we've put in.
I know, but that's still,
you know what I'm saying?
That's still respectable.
Well, I understand, but if I were to come down and drop down and take $250,000, then I'm not being the leader that I should be, because guess what? They'll be able to sign all these other guys for less money. So Dexter's only getting 250.
I agree with that mindset.
You see what I'm saying? So I think you have to know your worth. You know, if you can make that same money, you can make more money than they offer you. Go do that. But if you broke as hell, that's all you can take.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to be in a situation I'm in, I'm making good money. I don't need to take nothing that small. If it's not what I'm worth, then I'd rather not do it at all. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I get it, man. I mean, I see. It's fascinating because you have like a million different little companies in the form of influencers, you know, and I love the world we live in right now. A lot of people say, oh, well, if it wasn't for Instagram and social media, a lot of these people would be nothing. I'm like, nah, the cream rises regardless, whatever the platform is or the medium. You know what I mean? So,
well, social media has made a lot of dudes that you wouldn't even know who these guys are if it weren't for social media.
Well, for sure.
Because like Jay and I, we were famous in the magazines. We already was famous before social media came out. So we got a different type of fan base versus followers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting those followers too, but I got a fan base gonna do what I say do. You know what I'm saying? They gonna come.
But I see it. I totally get that, and there's a lot of credibility in you guys being
we
Olympia
have accolades,
winners, right? Actually doing something.
We back it up,
right? I totally respect that, but there's probably people that you could think of that have won big things that would be hard pressed to have a real following. You know what I'm saying?
See, but that's the thing. I've been able to do both. Right. They don't know how to use a social media game as well. See, I've also for instance, like my 1.5 million followers I have, or 93% of those followers are men. Only 7% are women. You might be like, oh yeah, you ain't got no bitches following you. That's cool, because whatever I say, the men gonna do. They gonna buy the product. Say for instance, I just got my teeth done. Y'all see them pearly whites? Got my teeth done by this doctor and
shout him out. Shout him out.
Dr. Conley in Beverly Hills.
Shout out Dr.
So
Conley.
I did.
Your boy. You want some more shout outs?
Now check this out. I did.
Gail too, because I saw the picture.
Oh yeah, she did hers too. She got it. She hooked him up too.
I saw the picture. There was
Now check this out. See, this is how you learn how to use your own social media and have guys that have high engagement. So he did all my teeth. It was about $40,000. I did one post. I don't know if I should be saying it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. He made $150,000 off of that one post. So that paid for my teeth that he did for free. Plus, he made $100.
See, the perspective is this. This is what I love this, because this is what I tell people all the time when they're about to go and hop into a deal. I'm like, okay, how much they're gonna pay you? 20, 30 grand. I'm like, okay, if they're paying you $30,000 a month, you know what they're making off of you? They gotta be making 120.
Absolutely.
150. You can make that yourself.
But
that's where I come from, because, I wasn't, me personally, never tried to be a fitness guy or anything. I train. This is what I do. And social media started taking off. So I never been one to hop on sponsors. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, nah, I can do this myself.
But understand that you can do that, which I'm gonna go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I got my own line. I'm getting ready to launch myself with Dexter Jackson Signature Series. I'm launching myself in October. Okay, so I got both going on. So I'm using that, and I'm also using my other platform where, say for instance, like because the first thing you said was all these influencers I've had and some of the top football players and Michael Hearn and all these guys. He said, man, you blow all of these guys away. Can we please, let's make some money together. So I did another post just 3 weeks ago. He already said I made $130,000. You get 20% of that. It's 2 posts. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's easy money.
I get it, Dex. Listen, Dex. We be in here all day, every day, dealing with numbers, analyzing stuff, and testing things, and doing the same thing. So I totally get it. I'm trying to get them out there to realize, because my thing is this, Jay. You see, what I love about Jay is, like you said, you've reached the pinnacle, right, on so many levels, and you're a wildly successful dude, but you still hustle like you're just starting. and I respect that. I love
Absolutely.
that.
I love Jay's a very
my warehouse is right
person.
here in the back. I'm like, fuck it, let's film back there like Jay, because Jay's in his warehouse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I see people on the gram, like I get up early. If I see somebody up before me already posting, I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? I get up a little bit earlier. You know, it's a lot to that. You know, I respect you a great deal. Part of that respect is your work, your hustle, your work capacity, and your work ethic. You know, I teach that all the time because I'm all about that. You know what I mean? So I want to tell a story about when I first met both of you guys. The first time I met you, Jay, I was like a little intimidated. I was like, yo, this motherfucker like cocky, because you're quiet. Mm-hmm. So it seemed like you're just not friendly at all. Jay is the nicest person I've ever met in my life. You know what I mean? I think it was after my gym closed down. You would just message me periodically. Hey, Mikey, you okay? Just checking on you, man. That means a lot. That holds a lot of weight with me. You know who else is like that is Big Rob. He just, what's up, broski? You good? Love you, man. All right, that's
Big
it.
Rob's always.
That's a good. And I remember the first time I met you, Dex. It was the Arnolds, and I seen you. And I was like, I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna be embarrassed. And you like, hey Mike, what's up? I was like, I'm looking behind you, like, there's another Mike. I was like, me.
That's when I was first starting to get into really, social media,
right?
Instagram and YouTube, and I used to see your videos, and I'm like, that's our dude Mike Rashid. I've seen his videos. Let me go say what's up to him.
And we hit it off. Yeah, I love that. You and Gail, I love both of y'all.
Yeah, we love people. You too, man.
So and we did some work together. Social media stuff. So it's really cool. Like, I'm in a cool spot. I love it. A lot of people complain about all the shady people in the industry, and I say, look, it's shady people in any industry, any business.
Absolutely.
Just stay away from them. Mm. Sometimes you don't know what you're getting into, but when you deal with that kind of stuff, you know how to stay avoided. And I've dealt with my fair share, and I avoid it like the plague now. How do you guys deal with that kind of stuff? Like, there's a lot of unscrupulous characters in in any industry, but we're in fitness. So how do you guys navigate that?
You know me, I like to just pretty much stay to myself. Rather I go to the movies, I go to the grocery store, and back home. That's it. That's that's my life. You know what I'm saying? So all of the hanging out stuff, I don't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. So I like to just stay to myself. But I have I've finally become more open and let everybody see the real Dexter, because
I like to think that I had a part in pushing you into that.
Yeah,
years ago.
You have, and it's like, because me, Jay, when I was back in the day, I was a great guy once you get to know me. But if you didn't know me, then I was very quiet and standoffish. You know what I'm saying? I always came across as a dick, as most people used to say.
Right.
But once you get to know me, it's totally different. But being that social media's out, my kids are like, Dad, you need to do Snapchat. I'm like, Snapchat? I ain't doing that crap.
I love it.
I started doing it a couple times.
You like it though.
I started doing it a couple times. I was like, hey, I like this. Right. And that's how it changed me, man.
See, all right, so me as a businessman, and I have my media company, I got stuff that people don't really know about, but like when we were doing work with you, I can come to it like a fan too, like a layman, right? Mm-hmm. And on the business side, and I'm like, because I know I want to see what you do every day. I'm like, they're gonna love this. This is gonna be fucking perfect. Nobody knows, because up to that point, nobody knew anything about you. That everybody thought you was mean.
Mike is the one who got my YouTube channel started.
I would like wait till they see how fucking down to earth this guy is.
Yeah.
Because when I was around you, like the big shows, the Olympias, you would expect someone of your stature just to have your famous friends around and just real bougie shit. But it was nothing but family. I loved it. I was like, that's what it's about. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, they got to see this. We got to show this. Uncle T was doing the photography. If he's praying, get it. Whatever he's doing, get it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we was posting them posts. We had those images of you praying, and you know what I'm saying? Like the real you, because you only showing you on stage.
Right.
And, you know, just the typical stuff. And I thought, me as a fan, I was like, this is going to fucking work. Watch.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
So-
it definitely brought it out of me, man.
Yeah.
I'll be doing my old school video. They fucking love my old school videos.
All of that, just the personality.
Yeah.
This is social media is reality TV.
That's the difference. Like, dude, I was a square in the magazines. Like, I was a robot, just eat, sleep, train. Like, they
Right.
portrayed this, like, and he knew me outside. He's like, oh, Jay's a funny guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people thought, you know, and the same thing. People think I'm super arrogant because I just don't, like, converse with people.
Right.
I'm just not a person, unless I'm spoken to and I'm expected to speak, I'll speak a lot.
Right.
But I won't carry a conversation with someone and just talk about some bullshit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So, like, if you get to know me, you know, I'm just an ordinary dude. But it's like now, like, if I put my life on, I'm with my girl and she's giving me a hard time, like, you know, Dexter watches my stuff, and it's like now you see points of my life that you're like, man, I didn't know Jay. I'm sure he even watches and like,
Right.
fuck, Jay's living like that or whatever,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
it's a lot different now. So I watch his, like, even his rants or what he's doing, like sitting in his kitchen. And Dexter's scenery doesn't move much on his music. You know, you always see that light hanging in the background,
Yeah.
or he's
Or
on
in
the
the car.
bike. He's
Yeah.
on, or in the car, and he's got the belt on the headrest. You know, of course, he has to get the Mr. Olympia belt
Yeah,
and on
yeah, right
every.
in the middle.
I think you got a bunch of belts on every headrest. So I guess no one drives in your car with you. So
Not safe, at least.
you know, it's just we know what kind of music Dexter listens to.
Right.
We know what he's thinking every day. We know he does 20 minutes of cardio. And you know, but it's like that's what people love, man.
Yeah.
Because that's what people want to know. Okay, what's the secret? Listen, this is the secret. Like, this is the lifestyle that we live,
Right.
right? Now it's different because I'm retired. So like I go to events and I'm disappointed. Like I left Ohio last weekend where I was with you. I'm like, damn, I didn't get any media stuff of some of the fan reactions and
Right.
stuff. I just kind of miss having someone there to shoot constant content because
Yeah.
people want to see how I react to like
Right.
the fans face
Right.
to face. So I always try to keep that in mind, and that's why I'm doing a ton of YouTube stuff now
Yeah.
and showing, like, I have my jaywalking and I have like day in the life with Jay, and it's just some things that you
I
never would think.
my
is
favorite
cool.
piece of content from you right now is the jaywalk.
Yeah, because sometimes I just filter. Okay, this is, and I reminisce a lot about competing. And Dexter and I were rookies together. We came on and competed at the Arnold for the first time together. He beat me,
Yeah.
right? You beat me that year.
I was 7th.
Or did I beat you?
I was 7th that year.
I think I got 4th.
Did you? Your first year?
I think so. No. What year was your first year? 98. I got
99.
Yeah, I got 4th at the Arnold.
Damn. But I
Then
beat
you went to the Olympia and you smoked me at the Olympia because I got 15th and you finished in the top 10.
Right. And then I beat you at New York Pro or something like that one time?
98. That was my first pro show, 98. When did you compete for the first time?
I didn't do my first show to 99.
Yeah, so
Yeah, your-
99
what,
Olympia,
Dex,
he
you
beat
did,
me.
according to Wikipedia, your first Arnold Classic was 99. You
Yep.
placed 7th.
I got 4th.
Let me see.
And then he beat me for a while after that.
And yeah, I think we do New York Pro.
What was Night of
Night of
Champions?
Champions.
And Jay
I
Cutler,
got 2000,
and Jay,
I won it.
You
You won it in 01, right?
And what?
2001. I won it in 2000.
Which one?
2000 Night of Champions.
and Jay, you're wrong, Jay. Your first year was 2002 when you had 103 completions and 10 touchdowns.
I was confused. I'm
I'm like, huh?
For y'all don't know what we're talking about. It's another Jay Cutler. Plays football.
yeah, so we came in together. And then we traveled to Australia, actually, going into before the 2001 Olympia together. I think we were both under Muscle Tech then. And, we were started competing on that level. And then, of course, all the Arnolds, and Dexter was always right there. And, of course, he beat me in 2008. And then I retired after.
Jay took off. When Jay took
Yeah.
off, it was, he got that muscle maturity and stuff.
Yeah. But it was like a big man's, it was me and
Yeah.
Ronnie, big man's game. And,
Yeah.
I think it was probably frustrating for him because I think, Dexter had, the ultimate body. I mean,
Right.
you look
Yeah.
back at some of these shows, and I'm sure even in 2004, he was 3rd at the Arnold, and Cormier was 2nd. I saw Cormier yesterday, by the way, when I was at the Ritz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was eating at this, and all of a sudden I hear, Jay.
He was at the Ritz?
Yeah, he was just eating or something. So,
And in Santa Monica?
No, here he lives down this way. I guess
I didn't know he was down. I thought he was up
County.
there.
He lived down this way?
Yeah, he lives in Orange County.
Damn.
So I was like, and we were reminiscing a little bit. But Dexter was third that year, and he really could have won. You know, it was very controversial. I came in a lot smaller for that show, 2004.
Yeah,
And
that was
Yeah, I was
Arnold.
right there. I thought
Arnold, and Dexter was phenomenal for that show. And that was, remember, that was the big money years. That was the Hummer, that was the 100K, the Audemirs and the Rolexes.
I just feel so bad for Chris because Chris placed second like 7 years in a row, man.
Well, he went through, let's see, Ronnie, he was second too. Then he did Flex Wheeler second too, and then he did me.
You.
And listen, I got second to Coleman how many times? And,
Yeah.
but
that's the Olympia though. I mean,
Jay, did you feel like, because I talked to a lot of guys that competed with you guys when Ronnie was reigning, and they all say, well, we didn't expect to beat Ronnie. Did you feel like that too?
I did.
Yeah, okay. A lot of guys said, yeah, we knew Ronnie was going to win.
well, and people just don't understand how this dude is so big, bro. So fucking big and hard.
And has the shape and yeah.
Back then, earlier days.
He's an impressive guy.
Oh yeah. And everybody say, well, Phil, they be putting all these pictures up, comparing them now. You can't put a picture
do pictures
up,
like
two pictures next to each other.
They got to be standing there.
I say, Phil, what you think? You'll be Ronnie? Hell no. Even Phil admits that. He was like, man, that dude was a beast, bro.
I think I like watching Phil compete too. I thought Phil was mega impressive to me.
He's very impressive.
His shoulders, something different.
Yeah.
I used to really enjoy watching him and Kai battle.
That was
because Kai is mega.
What's your favorite battle? Is it Jay and Ronnie or Kai and Phil?
Well, it's going to be Kai and Phil because I didn't watch bodybuilding until like maybe 2012, 11. I'm a boxer, right? I wasn't into bodybuilding like that.
Gotcha.
I got into it by weight. Now, all right, let me rewind. I was a fan of certain people. I was a fan of Ronnie Coleman and Branch Warren and Johnny Jackson. Them three specifically because of how they trained.
Right.
It was the videos motivated the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? They seem mean. You know what I mean? Tough. I like those kind of gritty gyms. So, but I never followed any shows. I knew all the names, but I didn't follow the shows. I didn't watch the battles. But so really, the only battles that I witnessed sitting there watching was the Phil and the Kai battles. Okay.
What about you, Jay? What's your favorite?
I don't think it was ever a battle between Phil and Kai Green.
No.
I don't think Kai Green ever deserved to win the Olympia.
Really?
I don't.
I think one of those years.
I thought he did.
I think one of those years.
I felt like the year. I think it was his last year. First of all, those two guys. I don't know. It was something. It was an energy up there.
Phil was too full in the upper torso to lose. Mm-hmm. So like when he, his front double is not the best shot, and he doesn't have a crazy back width, but his legs came up a lot. What's most impressive is how he's increased.
He has that cool factor on stage. It's something stands out.
Well, he's got the big arms, Okay. If you took his arms off his physique, he wouldn't be as impressive. Where Dexter had
everything.
He had a lot of things, and I think Phil his arms are almost too big for his chest a little bit, but at the same time, I just felt like there weren't a lot of. Dexter battled him one year, so that was a good battle to see. Right. What year was that? 14 or? 15.
There's a few years that Phil was.
But you got second. What year was the last time you got second to Phil Heath?
Oh, 2015.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that was.
I should have beat him that year.
That was a good. But I just felt Phil was pretty dominant. But I think that Phil came in at the right time too. That obviously that I was at the end. I wasn't getting better, and that's why I stepped away and retired. Well,
I'm gonna go with my favorite battle, and Jay probably remember this. It's Craig Titus and King Kamali.
Because they wanted to fight. Right. Like Kai and Phil, they weren't going to fight. They might have pushed each other that time on stage, but
Right.
But Craig Titus, you never knew when he was just going to let loose, and
Yeah,
he would have punched, Kamali in the face,
They used to be on stage, bro. They just call them two out because they know they're going to get rowdy next to each other.
Nice entertainment.
Look, you know how they call the last two guys out at the end of the show?
Right.
They calling them two out, and that's not even the end of the show. That's not even first second.
Like, we gotta do this. It was somebody like me. I would have did that.
Oh man! And they used to be yelling on stage. We was laughing so hard in Australia one year, bro. It was so funny. That video's online. So if you guys want to see that video of Craig Titus and King Kamali, Australia, the Australian pro, please check that out.
Do anybody know why the year that Kai kind of like nudged and got in Phil's face? Why he did? Because I love Kai. He's so zen all the time. I'm like, how can he be thrown off of his game right now? I was like, damn, you just lost. Like, you just fucked up on stage in front of everybody.
Well,
and I felt like Phil knew he had it, like, because Phil kind of smirked, like, perfect, like, yes.
Well, I heard that they wanted to create some excitement. So I think, but Kai took it a little too far with that.
So it wasn't legit?
No, he took it too far. I mean, nobody was going to fight for real, but he took it too far with what he did.
See, I would like to see, like, shit talking to hype shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Kai was signing Mr. Olympia and stuff on Phil's, on Phil's face and stuff like that. So, so it was some, I feel, was some legit beef between the two. But not to the extent where they was going to fight or nothing. But Craig and
that was
King, they were going to fight for real.
Right. What do you think about that, Jay? Do you think a little bit of controversy or beef is healthy for the sport?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who have you had beef with?
No one. That's the thing with Ronnie and I. Like, we didn't have beef,
Right.
Where the magazines tried to create it, but we were too, like, low-key to...
Yeah.
We just love to train.
Right.
Ronnie's not going to beef with nobody.
Yeah, so, like, he's just like...
I don't think nobody would want to beef with Ronnie. You know what I mean?
He was like, I'm the king. I'm the king, so...
Right.
Whatever. I'm not going to, like, worry about what anyone he says, she said. But I wasn't going in the magazines being like, hey, this, I'm going to blast him or...
Right.
I mean, I always said I was going to beat him.
Yeah.
I look at some of the pictures, and there's very few. I mean, 2001, even the judges thought I should have won. Right?
That was Jay's best.
Yeah. It was like,
right.
damn.
Everybody talk about 2001.
Yeah. And listen, and I was ahead by 6 points after prejudging, and then for him to make up 6 plus add 3 to polish off when the prosing round didn't even count. It was totally like rigged in my opinion, but. Right. I understand I wasn't prepared to carry the title yet, but it could have changed the scope of everything if that would have happened that way, and I would have won. And you saw he came back in 2002 a lot smaller, and then Gunther beat him at the Show of Strength, which was questionable, right? But that could have changed the whole landscape of bodybuilding at the time,
right?
Because I was a lot more beatable than Ronnie Coleman was,
right?
There's no question. I mean, I had holes all the time. Right. I was never consistent like with Dexter. Is a lot. You can look at his career and see a lot of consistency,
right?
Where I'd come in bigger, smaller, better condition, less condition. But the thing is I won by out-muscling people. I didn't win on having the most shredded glutes. I didn't have to be as hard as Dexter Jackson to win because I just had overall whelming size. And that's what they were impressed with. So, someone like him could argue, well, I'm in better condition than Jay, I should win. But listen, looking back and, I had a successful career. I'm a fan of it. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to cheer guys like Dexter on. I mean, listen, he's in my era, so I'm going to cheer. He's the only one left.
Right.
That was my era, so I'm going to be favored towards him than the newer guys, right? Because it represents us. It just makes me look better if Dexter Jackson wins the Olympia back because I beat Dexter Jackson, So it makes me pat myself on the back a little bit and say, man, it's like this is one of the dominant guys of my era. Right. And we go down in history, and I have so much.
For sure.
I have so much respect for a lot of guys, but
you two are. Y'all don't know how excited I am right now. I'm like ecstatic right now.
But I always said I went on record because people say, "Oh, Ronnie Coleman's the greatest. Oh, Jay Cutler's the greatest, or Lee Haney," but Dexter Jackson is one of the top 5 greatest bodybuilders of all time, and I said that. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I've heard it.
People don't really give you that
because he's won everything. He's won it all. And he keeps doing it over and over. No one will. I don't think anyone will have as many wins as Dexter Jackson.
Right.
It's almost
That's not gonna
impossible. So he's going to go down the history books, and it'll be questionable. And he would probably say, "I'm the greatest ever." If he did say that, it wouldn't be him being cocky. Or he can sit there and,
it's
solidify it as
for
like
sure.
the greatest ever.
Yeah,
you know?
because you have to say, well, what justifies one being the greatest?
Like
you know?
people say, "Oh, you're outside, you're like successful." Well, that's an opinion. But when you look at the record books,
Right.
and you say, "Okay, what guy won? He won Arnold's."
Yeah.
Probably the record Arnold's, right?
5.
He's won 5.
You
Even though
you're the highest, right?
9 overall, 5 in Ohio.
Okay.
that's 5 in Ohio. That's what I look at, right?
Yeah.
That's the record.
Nobody has that.
Nobody.
No,
break it.
3's. I mean, 3 or 4.
Flex has 4.
Okay, I have 3. Now I won 3 in a row, so I have a record of consistent,
Right.
constant wins.
He was just on, yeah.
But he has where it counts. I mentioned Ohio. I'm not going to talk about Spain and Brazil
Right,
and all these
right.
other things because it's less competition.
Yeah.
But he holds the record. He won the Olympia in a dominant era of like the Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, era. I took over, and then he beat me in the middle. So it's not like it was easy.
Right.
And he predicted it. He won the Arnold and the Olympia in the same year.
Wow.
Ronnie did that
Bad
once,
boy.
but then he said, "I'll never do it
Bad
again."
man, right
You didn't
there.
do it, Jay?
No, hell no.
Oh. I had a guy tell me, he wrote me,
It's impossible to do.
it's hard. He DM'd me, and he says, Dex, your year 2015 to 2016, those are the best years of your life. I was like, well, 08, I won the Olympia and Arnold,
Right.
and then every show I did. So I was 5 or 6 and 0
Right.
that year.
Right.
It's never been done.
Amazing.
So I wanted to look up the stats to see what this guy was talking about.
Right.
I actually did 11 shows in 2015
15.
to 2016. I was 9 out of 11.
Wow.
I won. I was like,
11.
damn, that was good.
Talk about politics, Mike.
Right.
And you know what, Mike, you know what I heard in those same years? Now, check this out. I hear these guys talking all the time, well, the guys that in the Olympia and stuff, they only winning because, they got the big sponsors and the sponsors paying all the money and all the
You
guys
had no
are winning.
contract.
And all the guys are winning on contracts. Well, guess what? 2015 to 16, I ain't have no contract. We wasn't signed with nobody.
Right.
I won 9 out of 11 shows.
Wow.
And it was 3 Arnolds in there.
Right. I know we got to get out of here soon, but Jay, this is something I want to talk to you about. All right, so post-career, Jay Cutler shape, right? You're still big, but you look good. You look healthy, right? More aesthetic now. I think a lot of people are like that looks like, because a lot of guys, when they stop competing, it looked like they never trained before. What is it? What's going on?
What you saying? Who you saying about my boy Chris?
I'm not saying anybody. I didn't say it.
Chris, come here. We got to get you back right, baby boy.
No, a lot of people.
You know that's
just look
the boy,
like they,
Jay.
don't really.
No, you know what? I love to train, Mike. So when I travel, I train. I always follow a decent diet. So, in Jeanette,
shout out to Trifecta. I see you,
Trifecta Foods for keeping me up.
How convenient is that?
It's awesome. I'm very blessed, and to be able to continue, because listen, eating's 80% of what we do, right? I mean, Dexter would tell you he stopped eating all the junk food to make himself.
Yeah, I think Dex, you said the main thing you
Except for
looking
the burger you just ate prior to this.
the main thing you're looking forward to is not eating as much, right?
Yeah, that's the main
That's
thing
how I
I'm
am. I mean, I
looking
eat half as much. I probably eat 4 meals a day. But I eat so much more than Dexter I've had to eat. Right. I know what he's saying about George, too.
You was over 300 off season, right?
Well, 290 was average.
Okay.
But, I mean, I competed at between 260 and 265.
It's crazy.
Probably my best 255. But for me, I love to train. I do cardio every morning, but it's genetics.
Right.
Listen, I got into bodybuilding because of my genetics. I was told, hey, you have a great body. I responded greatly when I trained. So I think I'm always going to stay in some sort of shape. I'm slowly downsizing. I'm about 240 now. My goal is about to be 225. Yeah, I'd like to be 225, but I don't do a lot of other activities, to be honest. I weight train, and I do follow the lifestyle, but I don't have a lot of time. I'd love to do other outside activities.
Right.
listen, I was never a boxer. I used to play sports. I was a football player or whatever. But listen, at 46, I'm kind of limited. I don't want to risk doing crazy things at this age. But I'm happy like Dexter. Like, man, if I can just eat and sleep and train and work on my business and travel and do my thing to really give back to what kind of built my career, that's all I really want to do. There's no bucket list of like I want to still conquer this or that. I'm doing it. I mean, that's business wise, but it's not about the money anymore. It's just about building the brand and the excitement of watching things. I don't put money value on anything anymore. It's pretty cool to do things. And truthfully, when I won the Olympias, like I never thought about, how much money am I going to win? I'm sure when he won the Mr. Olympia, he was so excited to win and beat me and whatever. And then he's like, holy shit, I got a paycheck for $175, right? And then it was like, you get that check and you're like, man, I can't believe I won this thing. Yeah.
Like, I totally respect that. I do put value on money because where I'm at right now, I'm in a, paying my dad's mortgage, buying my mother a place. Like, that's like the cool stuff to me. Not things. I've had a lot of things already. I actually stopped having things so I can do more for people.
Other people.
Right. Yeah. Because I get so much more out of that. I had a white Rolls Royce that I used to hide from the gym because I got tired of people like making a big deal about it. I'm like, I'm going to park down here because I don't want to talk about it every time I get out the car. You know what I mean? So I grew out of all of that. I still want the big boy Phantom one day. You know what I mean? But I'm going to wait till everything and everybody is set. And then I'm going to get me a Phantom. I'm going to get it from scratch. Like, they're going to make, I'm going to be in London while they're making it nice. On the assembly line. But that's later. But the only reason I put value in money right now is because I can just do more for so many people. You know what I mean? And I'm just a giver. That's me. So anyway, I know, Jay, you got an important call. I know you got to get back to the other side of California.
Yes.
I really appreciate you guys for coming through. Anything you want to say in last thoughts?
Not really. I just want to thank, everybody for supporting me all these years, because if not for you guys, I'd probably be retired a long time ago. So thank you for being in my corner. And I say all the time when I'm on Instagram, you get some idiots on there that's got something. You're always going to have somebody that's got something to say. Right. I don't have to say that because my fans tatty ass up for me. So
I love that. Yeah. Hey, mine too, but I like to get petty with them. I go after them. I'm like, oh, really? Okay.
Nah, see, you know what, Mike? It's sometimes you just can't. You just gotta say something every now and again.
Look, I want to. They be like, "You're supposed to be professional." No, I'm
exactly.
Not. No, I'm not. I'm not professional.
But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for always supporting me all these years, man. And I can't wait to see how the Olympic goes down this year.
This is gonna be fun this year.
Yeah, get your tickets now.
Get your tickets. This Olympia is going to be crazy.
I'll be there in the front row. I'll be razzing Dexter, and he'll see me there.
Me too. I'm going to have
just imagine, 50 years old winning Olympia, it's going to be nuts, bro.
Yeah, but you're not 50 when you win.
Well, I'm 49, but
yeah.
So you're going to have to run it back one more time then.
I'm 49 3/4.
All right. So you have to take it this year and next year. And then
we'll see.
He takes it every month at a time at this point.
Right.
But I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but there's another show that's coming out next year that's going to be
big money.
Big money. Big money. Bigger than Olympia.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. So
I want John to get...
I definitely probably stick around to do that.
I would love for first place to win $1 million. Why not? The money's there.
It's getting close. It's coming, especially in this show.
I would love for that to happen, I feel like when the stakes is higher, people go harder. And I want to be at the Olympia blown away. I don't want to be looking at somebody that I could probably...
Well, you know what? I think having a show here is going to make everybody... The Arnold, they're going to have to step the game up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because this show coming in first year, knocking the Arnold already back now. So it's going to be...
Okay.
I mean...
Well, the prestige... Is it more than the Olympia?
More than Olympia.
And it's not the Olympia.
The women is getting the same as us.
Can you give us any more?
What is it?
Who is it?
I'm not,
is it Dexter Jackson?
I don't know if we should say anything. I'm not getting... Jay, what you think? Who is it, Jay?
Do you know, Jay?
I know, but I don't know if it's been announced yet.
No, it hasn't been announced.
Okay.
So we better keep it cool.
This is perfect opportunity.
No.
Jay, any last words?
No, man, I just want to thank you for the opportunity.
No
Hopefully
doubt.
it's not the last time.
For sure.
I appreciate Dexter coming and spending time with me because, like, we go way back, and I was excited for his victory, and I just love what he's doing, and I love what you're doing on media, so it's great. And it's good to see, like, someone like yourself. Like you said, it's, you came up through the YouTube series, and CT's been an inspiration to you. We've all had certain people that inspiration.
Yeah, for
We've all
sure.
become good friends through those outlets. If it wasn't
Right.
for the social media aspect, we wouldn't all be as close as we
Right,
are.
right.
And we're able to correspond because I'm not a guy that's going to text Dexter every week, but I can work through social and comment on his stuff, or he can comment on mine.
Right. And that is cool because people that follow both of y'all think that's awesome to see
Yeah,
y'all interacting with each other.
and it's nice to be retired and able to cheer him on and have no, like, oh my, I wish I was in that position, because no matter what, we want success for ourselves.
Right.
But I love to see people still doing it and enjoying doing it. That's the
Right.
most important thing. Is, like, if you're miserable doing it, then
doing
don't
the
continue
wrong
to do
thing,
it. You
yeah.
have to be passionate. If you want to be great with something, you have to be passionate about
Right.
it. And I think that we've all found what our passion is, and that's why we're all great. There's a lot of greatness in this room. So
I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Both something that's great. That this is the shit that I love. Both of you guys were scheduled today, but when I texted each one of you, letting you know that both of y'all were coming, y'all both wanted to film with each other, and I thought that was dope. That's so cool.
Yeah,
You
because I
wouldn't even
wanted
know
to get
that.
in and get out. Mike was like, well, Jay's going to be in for another hour and a half. I was like, okay, I'll wait.
Yeah, I'll say, yeah. Because he was like, I want you to get out. I'm like, all right, cool.
I said, Mike, I'm in and out. I got to beat this traffic back. And then when I got here, he was like, well, Jay, he's coming up. Well, fuck it, I'll wait.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I can tell you guys got a lot of respect for each other.
Big
when y'all
respect
not
for
around.
Jay.
So
Always.
that's
As a
good look.
businessman, I look up to Jay. And you, Mike, I always told you, you're like me. We hustle.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
get the
And that's
quiet
what I
money.
respected by both of you
I
guys,
get the
man.
quiet money. Dad. I get the quiet money. Hell no.
Yeah, not having no Panda and 5-6 other cars. But man, I'm just happy for both of you guys, and you guys doing what your success you guys are having. And man, just continue to stay humble with your fans like you're doing. And man, shit, God is great, man. You're just gonna keep getting better.
For sure, for sure. All right,
let's do it again.
let's do it. All right, we out of here.